United Nations is directly responsible for trying to encourage global taxation to improve the quality of the environment, which is presented in such a way that you can't argue against it, but it's not good. Because everybody wants a better quality of environment. But taxing people does not lead to a better quality of environment. Taxing people just makes people poorer, which means they don't have the money to invest in the quality in their environment. So their ideas are great and their philosophies are great, but in practice it doesn't work. And taking money from rich countries to invest in improving the quality of poor countries has never worked in human history, because that's like saying, okay, let's take money from rich families and give it to poor families because that will improve their quality of life. But it doesn't, because the rich families are rich because they understand how money works, and the poor families are poor because they don't understand how money works. Well, that's it. It's not that giving them money will make them rich. It won't. The reason why people don't have money, there's two reasons why people don't have money. One is they don't know how to work with money, and the other is they make a choice to not have money in their life. Either way, if you give them money, it's negative. Yeah, it's that principle where I listen to some economic programs, and if you look, and from an American perspective, if you earn less than $60,000 a year, you're considered poor. So yeah, so if you earn less than $5,000 a month, you're considered poor. See, this, they have no idea about basic economics. No idea. And then you have things like organizations and unions of teachers who earn much more than that, going on strike for more money, even though they're in the top, we can easily say the top 5% of, paid sustainable employment groups. Yeah. Yeah. They have enough money for a good standard and quality of life, and good job security, and still they complain. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it depends where you go. I mean, you can take the average. If you look at expenses worldwide and try to balance things out, how do you balance? How do you balance it out? One way is to look at the average price of coffee. Look at the price of one coffee in different places. That gives you an idea of economics, basically. Or I've seen it done with Coca-Cola, because you have to have a commodity which is everywhere, which is either coffee or Coca-Cola. And if you look at Slovakia, you can, in general, on average, find good coffee, a good presso for €1. Okay, it's probably a bit more in this center here, but opposite my office, I think it's less than €1 opposite my office for one coffee. Yeah, and you can go to some hotels in Italy. I only say this because I had a friend who went there and said that it was like €15, €15 for a coffee there. It was a high class hotel. Okay, well look at Starbucks. I mean, how much do people pay for a Starbucks coffee? What, $3? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a general example. $3. So, and you don't need it. It's a luxury. You don't need Starbucks coffee. Starbucks coffee is a luxury. Whatever anybody says, it's a luxury. Now that will buy you lunch here. So, and lunch is a big enough meal to, be your main meal of the day, and you can get relatively good food for that price. So, in one country, people are spending that money on a luxury that they don't need, that's fashionable and trendy, and in another country, they're getting their essential food for the day, for the same amount of money. I have a student, actually, client, who is a director of a company, and he gets 10,000 a month, 10,000 euro a month. And he's at the top of his trade. And so someone who is at the top of their business and has relatively comfortable lifestyle, enough money to cover all their needs basically, and more. He can drive a car which is more expensive than my house was, right? So and that puts him at the top here financially. But that would only put him in the middle there. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's very interesting.